Hey everyone, welcome back with Bino Mac, where once again we are going to continue our playthrough of the Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase PS1 game here on Licensed Thursdays, where every single week we play a licensed video game based off of a licensed property. Of course, we're talking about Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, adult cartoons such as Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park, and of course movie tie-ins, so on and so forth. So this is our 4th episode, if you couldn't read, and what we're going to do here is we're going to play as Scooby-Doo, and we're going to go through the prehistoric jungle.
Scooby, there are giant
Looks like we're going to take on some dinosaurs here, and we're going to destroy their eggs. So, yeah, that sounds like it's going to be fun. And it looks like these guys, I don't know, they just kind of run on a straight path here, but they kind of just run back and forth. So I mean, like I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like I said, I mentioned it every single video, probably like 10 times. It's like a Crash Bandicoot game, but I don't know. I mean, they could have at least made it seem a little more natural. But once again, it's a PS1 game. What do we complain about here? This is actually when the game, in my opinion, really begins to kind of ramp up, and you'll notice a bridge section later that I ended up just cutting probably like 10 minutes from, just because I could not make it past the bridge. Which, thank God, you know, it's only a small section, but I'll point it out when we get back to it. There's as you can see, if you watch the previous episode, they're kind of reusing the tactic in the Arctic Circle level that they did last time, and that was when they had like falling spikes, icicles is what I'm trying to say here. They had falling icicles. This time we have random falling bones. I guess it doesn't really make sense in either place, because I mean, where are the icicles coming out from when we were in the Arctic Circle? Because it seemed like it was just an open-ended area type deal, but here, you know, we just got random bones flying from the ground. I'm afraid of whose they are, who's dropping them. Probably some sort of pterodactyl. But either way, it's up to Scooby-Doo to brave the depths here. And some of these holes, like, they kind of look like, to me, like they're just like trees almost, like, you know, like when a tree kind of has like a little bit of it poking out from the bottom. So I mean, it's kind of throwing me off just a little bit here, but yeah, as long as you pay attention. That one I didn't even have to stop for it, just fell. I didn't get hit with it, but you can see like the shadows of these things before they fall down. Speaking of trees, it's a very nice looking level. I like it. Once again, based off of the show, I think this was one of the bigger sections of the show, I remember, of the movie Cyber Chase. They seen some, you know, cave writings on the wall. And then, of course, they had to, in the movie, they had to save a poor, stuck baby pterodactyl before they could get the Scooby snacks. But, you know, there was a volcano involved, and it was a whole mess. I mean, I won't give away the whole plot of the movie, but I will say this. If you watch the movie and you are a Scooby-Doo fan, chances are, A, you've already watched it, because it's a legendary movie. Even those who aren't the big Scooby-Doo fans, I mean, those 4 direct-to-DVD movies were just legendary. If they weren't a part of your childhood, you didn't have a childhood. You didn't exist. You were not born. But, yeah, if you haven't, for whatever reason, I mean, there are some older, or I should say newer Scooby-Doo fans that may not have watched it. If you get a chance, you need to watch Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase. Heck, even on YouTube, you know, ask your parents, you know, if you're a kid, you know, to be able to rent it for, like, maybe, like, I think $3.99 or something like that off of YouTube, and you'll be able to watch it. I wouldn't recommend buying it though, because digital media, you don't actually own anything, so just give it a good rent. If you can, anyway. watch it with your folks, brothers, sisters. It is just one of the. It's not only just a great Scooby-Doo movie. It is just one of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion. Although I'm a pretty childish person, so maybe I'm a little bit biased in that regard. But those Scooby-Doo movies, I can't emphasize just how much fun they are, and how they kind of once again tip the whole series on its head with the way they went about it. And each movie, even though they kind of have similar themes in a little bit of a way, it's definitely one of those. They were able to make each and every one of those movies unique in whatever, you know, message they were trying to do. I knew that guy was gonna go under there. He was moving and grooving, and I wasn't digging it. I was not digging his rap. I don't know, like, if these guys, like, if they can eat me or what, but I'm not trying to give them a chance. I like how in the prehistoric level they kind of just decided to just go with alligators in the end of it. And don't let this game fool you. Like, there are times where it looks like there's open paths and whatnot, but they're not really open. They're just pretty much there to make it look like something's there, but it's just invisible walls. It's just pretty much every level, it's just a straight line at the end of the day. I mean, sometimes you have to veer off to the right a little bit, and then might have to turn to the left a little bit, you know. But hopefully that won't happen again right there. Yeah, even like his mouth was open, so I don't think they can eat you. Woo! I didn't even know I could fall off like that. But it kind of reminds me of like a Pitfall, where you had those crocodiles, alligators, whatever they are. And you know, if they had their mouths open, you can jump on them. Pitfall's a pretty great game too. Jeez, they are not messing around with these boulders. That's a nice boulder. I'm interested to hear, you know, what do you guys think of the current state of the Scooby-Doo franchise? I mean, honestly, I think pretty much everyone can unanimously agree that Velma is terrible. So, I mean, there's no need to even say that. But, so you even trying to eat me, or he's just kind of whipping his head back and forth. But, I'm kind of interested to hear what people's thoughts are just as the evolution of Scooby-Doo. Do you think it was necessary? Because, I mean, obviously we had the original in the 70s. That's an iconic show. Nothing could even come close to it, not even its own knockoffs. And then, you know, we had the downtime where we had some, I think, just TV movies, which I actually liked a few of them. You know, like The Reluctant Werewolf, I think is really great. The Boo Brothers were not, that wasn't really my favorite, but Reluctant Werewolf, and Ghoul School, that one was amazing. That was one of my favorites. So this is the bridge scene I was talking about earlier. As you can see, it's pretty crazy, but I pretty much cut out the like 7 attempts that I tried to do, and now you're just gonna see me win because I have a low ego, low self-esteem. Nah, I'm just messing around. I'm just trying to, not trying to waste you guys' time, just trying to cut things down so that way, you know, it's nice and.
Great Scoob! Scooby snacks! Like here we come! Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
So that way the video is just nice and clean for you guys, hopefully. But that's why, you know, I'll have like random lives counters or pies, health, whatever sometimes, just because I kind of cut it into the point where I actually made it. But here we are at the T-Rex. You're not going to get any better than this. But back to what I was saying about the Scooby-Doo stuff. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on that stuff, you know. Which do you think was the best era of Scooby-Doo? And on that point, which do you think was the most underrated era of Scooby-Doo? Because we had the 70s with the original series, that's iconic. Then we had the direct-to-TV movies and the really weird side shows, you know, like Scooby-Dum was in one of them, and the new Scooby-Doo movies with like the crossovers with other characters, the Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts. So we had a lot of weird things in between, and then we eventually got the direct-to-DVD movies, You know, the 4 legends, the 4 horsemen, you could say, of those that really revitalized the series. And then, of course, we also had What's New Scooby-Doo after that, which was very clean looking. I liked it. I mean, it was kind of went back to form. A lot of people, I'm sure, fell off with it, but I thought it was a nice return to form. And then, of course, we had, I think after that was Mystery Incorporated. I didn't really watch that too much. It seemed like a very interesting evolution, but something about the art style I was not the biggest fan of. And it kind of always, like, drew me off. And then, of course, I think we had Scoob. I think that's just what it was. Where it was just kind of like the goofy... I always consider it like the Teen Titans Go of the Scooby-Doo franchise. And then, now we have Velma. So there's definitely more details in there. But it's been quite a wild ride for Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo's always felt like a very interesting franchise to me. It doesn't feel like the normal like Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network kind of franchise. But it's always been something that feels like it's always been around. Jeez, that's kind of lame how he can just freeze me in place like that. Jeez, come on, move! Move! Yeah, if he freezes you, it doesn't look like there's any way to get out of the way. I'm assuming it's when he hits his tail on the ground. Alright, come on. Give it up, pal. Give it up. What? That was close. That's all, folks, for this week. Make sure to stay tuned for next week's episode of License Thursday, and if interested, see what else I play, as I play Monday through Friday every single week, with each day having a different theme. If enjoyed, please like and subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of the daily content and posts. Licensed game playthroughs every single Thursday, so make sure to check out next week's video as well. Above all else, please remember to have a nice day.